This is who I was, but it's definitely not who I am. Welcome to Vegas Prison Stories. So, I have friends on Facebook. We've been friends many years, even when I was doing all this crazy stuff. And a couple of them have gotten a hold of me after they've seen the videos and things like that. Inevitably, everybody that's gotten a hold of me, they get a hold of me and 3 stories pop up. When are you going to do the Dottie's robberies, the Dottie's casinos in Las Vegas? When are you going to do the train that you robbed, which I had completely forgotten about? And when are you going to do the Cimarron High School shooting? So I did the Cimarron video, but then I took it down because when I rewatched it, I did not like what I saw. I did not like how I was acting in the video. It wasn't me, it's not me. So I'm gonna redo that in the future and I'll put it back out. For today, the train, I just had to laugh when I saw it. And then I said, why don't I just do a video on big equipment or things like that that we robbed or stole back in the day. So the first big vehicle that I remember that was taken around me was a beer truck. It was at the 7-Eleven up the street from our house, over off of well, I don't even want to say where the neighborhood is. Anyway, one of our boys had seen the guy unloading the truck. The keys were in the ignition. He jumped in the truck. All of a sudden, he shows up in the neighborhood with a beer truck. Too bad the beer truck was pretty much almost empty. There was a little bit of beer in it, a lot of wine, and we unloaded all of it, drove the truck out of the neighborhood, and we all got drunk on wine for a little while. So that's where it all kind of started off, where it's like, okay, it's possible that you can just, it doesn't matter how big the vehicle is. If you want it, you can take it. So after that, Trippy from White Fence comes to me, and he says, I need a big vehicle. I said, how big? He said, real big. I said, okay, I'll go out. I'll try and find you something. Let me see what I can do. It took me about 2 nights. I found a construction site. I went into the construction site and they had a water truck. Now the water truck was still full of water. So we end up taking this water truck. We're driving down the street with a water truck full of water and it's sloshing. And I mean, I felt like this thing was gonna flip over, but it is what it is. We got the truck. I bring it to Trippy. Here's your big truck, Trip. I don't know what he was gonna do with it. I mean, I know that they had some things, like I told you, they had all gotten arrested for bank robbery, so they were extreme in what they had going on. And I had heard, some rumors that they were looking to block something off that might go weekly to a store and pick up their cash for them, something like that. But it never happened because they all got arrested at my house, which I told you guys in the Josh Nichols video. So I get him this truck. He's driving around in it like he owns it for like a week. And it's the funniest thing of all time because Trippy is a legit gangster. Like this dude, if you were to watch a Mexican gangster movie like Blood In, Blood Out or something like that, with the mustache and just the way he sat and the way he talked, like he was quintessential Mexican gangster. And he was driving around in this water truck. It was, I mean, I laughed every time I saw him driving up the street with it. So that was the second big piece of equipment. When I was in county fighting a case, there was a guy that came in. I didn't know this guy, but I thought I'd throw this story in here because it's big equipment. This guy was in, he had taken an excavator, drove it over to the bank across the street, grabbed the ATM and started to beat the ATM open with the excavator. That's legit crazy. Like that's next level. That's probably a higher level than I was willing to go. But you gotta respect something like that because old boy was trying to get after it. I don't know what happened to him with his case. I wish I did. I looked it up. It seems like this is something that actually happened quite a few times around the country, but I could not find this case in Nevada so that I could put a, clip up or anything like that, which I would love to do, but sorry for your luck. So that brings us to the train. So I have this friend, I'm gonna call him Slick. And I'll call him Slick because every hustle that he came up with was smooth. It was artwork. So Slick says, hey, I know where the train stops coming from LA through Vegas. So I tell him, all right, let's talk about this for a minute because we're talking about a train right now. He says it stops at state line in Nevada, the California-Nevada state line. There's casinos, there's all types of stuff going on. He says it stops right over by there. He can jump on, and then when he gets to over by what's now seven Magic Mountains, but before it was just an access road. He says once he gets towards there, I'll call him when I see the train coming. He'll open the door and he'll start dumping stuff out, and then he'll jump. This was a fly-by-the-wire type of deal. Like, this is far crazier than pretty much anything that I had ever thought about being involved in. But I was definitely down for this one. We went to state line. He popped the lock, jumped on the train cart, and he's in. He's in. He sees that there's merchandise. Like, I don't think it was the first train cart that he went to. He had to pop the lock on a few of them. So he sees one that's got boxes in it. He jumps in it. I take off. I got to get down there by 7 Magic Mountains. Basically, I got to beat this train. I was sitting there for like an hour. I don't know what was going on. I don't know, like, if they were switching out conductors. I have zero clue. I don't even know if Slick has been busted. But I figured that he would call me if anything was going down. It's not like I was going to rush over there. Sorry, Slick, you're on your own. This was your crazy idea anyway. You better run through the desert, bro. So finally, the train's coming. I can see the lights. I call him up. He flings the door open. As he's coming by, he started way too early with this too. He probably had, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes to actually go through, take his knife, open up these boxes, see what he wanted, start moving stuff to where he wanted it. It was crazy. So here come the boxes. Now he's throwing boxes that he had already opened with the knife. Like, why wouldn't you go underneath that? There's pallets, right? Take the box that isn't open and dump it out. But no, he throws that. So now we got clothes, we got designer clothing, we got electronics, we got everything. And none of it staying in the box that he's dumping out. So he is just littering this street for a half a mile with brand new stuff. And it's like, so he jumps off this thing. I didn't think he was going to have the balls to do it. I thought he was going to stay on it, and then whenever it stopped down the road, say it's in Vegas or St. George, Utah or something, like, he was going to jump off and then call me to come save him or something like that. He jumped into the middle of the desert off of a train going, it had to be going 30, 40 miles an hour at least. I mean, it was insanity. And talk about messed up. You've never seen somebody messed up like this. This dude was thrashed. But he was able to walk, no broken bones, just thrashed. The dude had a motorcycle helmet on when he jumped. Like, he's wild. So here we go. We got the truck, a stolen truck, of course, because that's how we get down. And we are literally driving down this access road, picking up loose items on the side of this access road for 4 hours. It starts to get daylight, and I told him, listen, we got what we're getting. Let's get out of here. I'm not trying to sit here and wait for NHP to go by or any of that and see two dudes out there with flashlights in the middle of the road. And when he comes up and we tell him we have a flat tire, but then he notices all the stuff in the truck, we're screwed. So we get what we got and we get on out of there. We got broken electronics. We got torn up, dirty clothes. You know, there was a lot of good stuff that made it through in their boxes. But there was a lot of junk when we opened it up because of the way that we came across it. It is what it is. So that's the kind of crazy stuff that would come across when you were dealing with someone like Slick. Slick always had an idea, and it was always insane. It was always the craziest thing. Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to come up with just, this is not Mission Impossible, bro. I do not want to rappel down a building to steal a diamond. You know, why don't we just go rob the store? But that wasn't his style. he wanted to ride down the train tracks on a train and jump off of it after he dumped the loot out. So, more power to him. I'll sit there and watch, and then I'll drive off with you. So that's the story on the train. I'm sure by now that it has gone telephone style, you know, people telling it this way or that way, and it's probably, you know, oh, they dumped everything out of every cart, you know, for 5 miles, and yeah, it wasn't like that. It was already a crazy enough story. But we got away with a truck full of stuff. He was all messed up, and he should have been, because it was an idiot move. But I mean, it made for a good story. I do know that Slick went down for robbing trains on the East Coast not too long after he had left Vegas. So obviously he got off on this, and this was like the thing for him he loved to do. Some people are born to rob trains, I guess. I'm cool with just one cart, and I'm cool, well, it wasn't even a full cart. I'm cool with, you know, the little lick that we hit, and I'm cool with the story to tell it on YouTube after. So I hope you liked the story, and if you did, hit like and subscribe, and thank you for coming to Vegas Prison Stories, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and have an awesome day. This is who I was, but it's definitely not who I am. Welcome to Vegas Prison Stories.